Up next is a panel on rising above the pandemic, transforming disruption into opportunity. We are delighted to have engineer Eric Chan, Chief Public Mission Officer Cyberport, to moderate this session. The panelists are promising Cyberport startups, including Mr. Wong, co-founder and CEO of EventXtra, Mr. Mark Mak, CTO Roborn, Mr. Simon Tang, co-founder and chief knowledge officer HK Decoman Technology Limited, and Ms. Crystal Pang, co-founder and CEO Pickupp. There will be a live poll session for this session, or live poll session, yes. You can scan the QR code shown later on the screen to make your vote for the live poll. I will now pass the floor to Eric. Eric, please.
Thank you, and welcome to this afternoon session. So to fully demonstrate the power of digital technology, I have three of our panelists joining us physically. I have another panelist joining us online. That's Crystal. So let us get started, right, shall we?
Okay.
And well, let me get started with maybe Wong in the middle,
Sure.
right? Mm-hmm. So you have been developing an event support platform business. And just want to understand, in this COVID situation, where everybody is suffering from, business losses and all these economic situation, how are you doing?
Oh, actually, we also suffer. In Q1, which is February to March, at that time, all the events got canceled, postponed to maybe at the end of the year, next year. But actually, instead of just sit there and then we try something different. So I asked my team, hey, let's do something different. Every teammate try something different. So some of my teammates, they initiate some webinars to teach the event organizer how to run events online. And so that got a lot of traction, that people sign up, big companies, a few hundred people actually attend the online events. At that time, people still think, okay, it's still a small case at the beginning. And then we realized a lot of people actually are interested to know how to run events online. And gradually, because of that, we know that the market actually need a product to serve that. So our product team immediately built a very quick prototype in actually a few weeks to let the organizer to test it out. And that actually eventually right now, 80-90% of our revenue is actually coming from the virtual events. And actually we have, I think, 3 times of the revenue right now compared to last year for the virtual event. So it's doing pretty crazy right now for the traction. It's almost 3 times the revenue last year. Yeah.
Very good. So I guess this kind of adapt to changes is in the DNA of all startups, right? So, but is there any kind of innovation experience within this short period of time that you have to hit the market with something that might not be your original product set? What's the most impressive experience that you have gone through?
So actually we did A/B testing. So at the beginning we actually developed 2 products at the same time, and so we let the organizer and also all the clients choose what type of software you want. Mm-hmm. And I would say the most important is really test the market, launch it quick. And because of that, when we launched the different version, and because most of our clients are from corporate world or trade shows, so they actually want a virtual event. Actually today the event is run by our platform. People want to see a lot of different companies. They don't just want to see a name. They want to see how they look like. They want to have a similar experience as a physical event. People can network with each other. If I look at your companies, if I like your company, I can immediately call them. So we find that that's the most important feature that people like. And then we decide, we focus on that actually get us now the contract with the largest organizer in the world, the largest organizer in Singapore, Japan, Korea, and we actually even have inbound from, as I mentioned, South Africa and also Pakistan, anywhere. So it's pretty exciting period.
That's very impressive. Well, Simon, because I know that Hong Kong Decoman, right? It's been trying to develop a platform to match, the home improvement, stakeholders, right? The demand and the supply, right? And but then nobody really, kickstart any home improvement plan in this COVID situations. But I heard that you guys have actually, kind of come up with very, very timely solutions to help people, to help Hong Kong fight COVID. Can you elaborate on this?
Well, actually, our business has an ecosystem with different sections. We have a matching service for suppliers and users for materials and also the renovation job. And also we have an academy, which we, because of COVID, we do e-learning and so on. But actually our business still continues. And the project that we actually do to help the community, so-called, is a free inspection of the water pipes, because some of the newspaper says that may be the reason for explosion. And we have expertise in the area. And we think that, well, of course, we also take some hit from the pandemic, but then we are an online platform. And we are already taking much less hit than the traditional model. So if we are victimizing ourselves, then who is going to survive? We say survival for the fittest. So if it is a global thing, then it's fair to all. And we are taking less hit. And we claim ourselves to be the platform of the renovation industry. So we think we just think, well, what is the role that we want to do here? And we see that some players because we do have a mall to sell materials. So of course we can make money by making taking the mask and then raise the price and so on, but we don't want to be speculative and sacrifice our model. Instead, we think of what is the role that we want to take in this industry. So we started a project when there is a need, and we use our system to match like hundreds of the professionals to go for the inspection service. We don't take any money because our business is still going on. And this one is a way that we, on one hand, we help the community. And on the other hand, we show the industry and we show the community and the media that we are the platform in Hong Kong that we help to bring the expertise of the industry to the mass public in a very speedy way. Actually, we begin the website like in 2 days' time, and then we start the project inspection within 1 week from the news of the.
How do you persuade the plumbers, that kind of your partners to do it free, for
Actually,
Hong Kong?
we are because we are the online platform. They rely on us. We help them save a lot of cost to find the customers. Of course, it is. We cannot force anybody to do anything. But then actually, not only we mobilize some of the plumbers. After we created this project, many of the players follow us and do the same thing. Some of them because they say, okay, because I don't have business, so why don't I do something that is useful? And some of them, they just take one step for whatever reason. Some of them may think it is a good PR, and some of them may think this is the right thing to do. But actually, there are many followers. So actually, it's quite encouraging that our action actually ripples to more.
It's actually one of our star solutions in the Braving the Epidemic program in the Cyberport community.
Actually, this has established ourselves as the role in the industry, and actually made us a very good connection with all the media partners and some players that we didn't know. And we also through this news, and we help them to connect with the online world to expand their business as well. So actually, it actually is something new, not from our plan, but stick to our role.
Yep, thank you. So Mark, right? So you are in the AI, robotic, and technization, right?
Yes.
So with COVID, coming along, how does it affect your business, and how do you actually react, to these situations, and kind of turn it into opportunity?
Yes. At the very beginning, just like the last restructure of my company, which focused on the education and property management industry. For example, we built something like a robot in operation, which handling crisis tasks, and some service robot, and you may see some coffee machine robots that we are trying to deploy to different shopping malls or something. But however, after the COVID-19, their situation is getting bad. We know that we need some changes in order to survive. So at the very beginning, and the China New Year Eve, so we tried to change our plan to not only focus on the property management and education. We tried to build something like the healthcare robots. So at the very beginning, we tried to see if there is any opportunity to help Hong Kong to fight the COVID-19. So we built the first 5G epidemic prevention robot called a fever scanning robot, PP3000, in very short time, like 15 days. So we try to deploy it to different government sectors like the EMSD, the LSCD, and fire service department, and the transport department, so on and so forth. So in order to help Hong Kong to fight the COVID-19. So this is very meaningful for us. And the most critical thing is we need to deploy the product in a very short time. At the beginnings, that everyone knows that it is quite difficult to find suppliers and manufacturers for robots because of the Chinese New Year's. Everybody's stopped, no factories opening, so we're trying to deploy it with our own facilities and some parts of our robots in order to assemble one towards the deployment of the MSD. So this is a very harsh time that we've been facing. After that, we have been working on other new robots like the UV disinfection robots, we call the Unicorn. So because in order to prevent from COVID-19, we're not only providing the shield for fever scanning, because there are a lot of solutions right now, but for fighting the COVID-19, how we trying to destroy the COVID-19 from spreading, we need to have some disinfection robots. Unicorn is a very good example because we try to deploy it to the medical center, to schools, to public sector, some private companies, and some institutes, something like that. So we're trying to providing companies and services to kill the bacteria.
So instead of slowing down the development, you have actually
we
launched a lot of new products.
Yes,
right?
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I believe that this just like Hong Kongers need to do that because we do not have any support from outside from the road. So from China is handling the worst situation and in the past decade. So I think as a Hong Konger, I believe that we need to do something. So we are very lucky that our project had been chosen for the PSTS COVID-19 sector. So which means that we are trying to deploy the outdoor disinfection robot in the coming November. That's next week. To different government sectors. So we're trying to fight against the virus in the coming winter.
Okay, thank you, Mark. So let's turn to our friend Crystal, right, from Pickupp, right? So Crystal, how are you doing? Seems that you are in quarantine at the moment.
I'm in quarantine at the moment. Yes,
right,
so that's why I have
thank
a
you.
mask.
So you have been in kind of developing company, the Pickupp, right? For logistic support platform. And now, how does the COVID affected your business? And how have you reacted to it?
I think 2020 is really like a roller coaster ride, especially for Pickupp. I guess the good thing is that people are all can all agree that delivery needs has spiked. And there are a lot more delivery needs just across the board, given this whole social distancing and also stay-at-home initiative. So I think when COVID hit, what we're noticing is that we have two groups of clients. Like one group of clients is mostly like e-commerce platforms. They handle a lot of cross-border delivery. So we're seeing a lot of disruptions in that area. Meaning flights got rescheduled, custom clearing got delayed, and then a lot of warehouse they have a lot of backlog. So having the technology, the transparency to help them maximize or rework the utilization definitely help them a lot. But more importantly, I think we also see a pretty big pivot in terms of the sectors that Pickupp plays in. I think historically we work with a lot of retailers and e-commerce companies, but I think in April we started to realize that there's a pretty urgent or pretty big need in the medical sector or even in testing sector. I think alongside with Cyberport, we were talking to the Hong Kong government, where they have a lot of overseas returnees. They are under quarantine and they need testing delivered to the clinics quickly. And all these collections are spread across everywhere, in Hong Kong, and they just need to collect it quick and send it to the nearest clinic within maybe less than an hour. So I think that is a big headache because a lot of logistics companies, where traditionally, if they're capex heavy, will not be able to, one, find all these qualified people and train enough of them, and second, have the right kind of capacity, ready to go in a short notice, like a week. So I think that's how the Pickupp platform came in handy. We are able to use technology with cohort, a special group of people. We make sure, they understand the protocol, and, utilizing machine learning or, geolocation, we're able to dispatch the right people, collecting the right samples and monitoring the whole process. Everything, from beginning to end, I think we get it up and running in less than a week. So I think this is a pretty new finding for us as well, us being able to help out in the medical sector. I think now we're not just doing testing collection, we're also handling a lot of telemedicine companies, how they do safe medicine deliveries without this patient going to the doctor with chronic disease. And, we're seeing a lot more application, in the second half of the year. So I think, on hindsight, this just accelerated every sector and everyone to kind of think out of the box and be creative.
All right, Crystal, just sorry to interrupt you. Just quickly, what's your prediction? How is it COVID is going to pan out? And how would it, would you say would affect your business model, your business overall? Quickly.
I believe the way people think or the way people react to COVID accelerates this digital transformation. So you may say, okay, if we have vaccine and things go back to normal, will people order less, or will people give up the convenience or this instant gratification? I think not so much. The fact that with COVID, people learn to adapt to it faster. So I think this habit or this behavior is going to stay, and even virtual meetings, today I'm actually online speaking to you all. I think now people are getting used to it, and being able to meetings can be virtual, or even we are helping a lot of organizers. We had one in Singapore, basically doing virtual events, and we do help them do the deliveries. We have one upcoming in Hong Kong, the Wine and Dine Festival, doing wine deliveries. So I think if people can stay home and have wine, obviously they want social interaction, but will they give up the convenience? I don't think so.
Okay,
so I think
sorry.
everything just
Crystal,
go faster.
thank you. We're running out of time. I'm just quickly trying to say, also get your predictions quickly. 15 seconds. How do you think it's going to pan out? How is it going to affect your business? The COVID, the new normal.
It will just grow faster. We grew we grew close to 4x this year. So with this.
Sorry, Crystal.
I think,
could I get some feedback from the panelists here? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
We cannot predict when it's going to end, but then we are, as an online platform, if our model is right, we always spend more money in proving we are right. So we either speed up our development. The pandemic only limits our border expansion. So if border expansion is limited, we try to perfect the execution locally. So we get more time to do what we didn't have time to do.
Okay. Okay.
For us, the impact is actually it's a good impact for event industry. So the whole event industry, like I remember earlier, I talked to a big corp. They said they want to try virtual events. They never tried. And because of COVID, they have to try it. After they tried, they realized actually they get more lead. They spend less money on the events. So the ROI is actually higher than the physical events. So what will happen in our industry, like I'm not like expert on the COVID, but on our industry is everyone in the event industry, they have to try the virtual event. And then after they try, they realize actually there's quite a big part actually for the event, they can do it virtually, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So, and I think from now on, like virtual will become one part of it, and then from the future, hybrid will become definitely 100%. So some event go physical, we still want to meet each other physically, and then but a lot of part will also run on virtual. So that will be my.
Maybe it's actually a good time for us to do a polling, right? So could we have the QR code up? So that people can now let us know what they think about this. Do you agree that the pandemic has speed up the digital transformation for all industry? Right? You can do the QR code, and then you give your opinion, and we're going to see the result at the end of the sessions. So we're going to wait for that, and we'll carry on with our discussions. So let's talk about digital transformation, right? Because the global crisis has accelerated, the traditional industry in looking at a lot of digital solutions, but for your own company, obviously, you are also an enabler. But how have you actually fast-tracked your own digital transformation within your company to stay ahead of the competitions? And what do you think are the success factors to capitalize on this new opportunity that arises? Mark, can you say?
Yeah, because I need to travel a lot before the COVID-19, because I need to travel to China a lot, to the Greater Bay Area, because a lot of our suppliers are there. But however, after the COVID-19, we could not go anywhere. So that's the problem, that we could not make our quality control of our products, and also for the supply interviews that we are very niche to do that. But however, we try to compensate it by some conferencing software, such like Zoom or Teams meeting. So in order to shorten the path that we could really looking towards the quality of the product. So this is very important, and we're trying to do that. And also we are trying to build something for our suppliers. We're trying to build a conferencing robot so I can deploy it into their factories, and I can see live streaming, very clear images, so I can do something more. Even I don't need to travel. But I believe that this is a new normal, because travel needs times, but this COVID-19 really speed up this digital transformation from the physical, attendance to the suppliers to now we can go online.
And Simon?
Yeah, well, internally, we speed up some projects that helps we call it smart matching, to match the clients and the renovation companies together. And externally, we always claim ourselves as an O2O platform, and only 3% of the market is our consumers are using the online service. So there's 97% of people that we are advocating our model. So during this COVID-19, actually more members, corporate members, and more partners, brand partners, they come to us to explore the online market. So they actually, we actually get more clients, corporate clients, and our business is to also educate the users to try online services, as some of the fellow guests said. Actually, after you try it, overcome the fear of trying it, you discover the online way is more transparent, more standardized, and more convenient. And then that's how we are going to leverage ourselves to get the traditional business online and get the users online and expand the market.
So?
For us, definitely the pandemic speed up a lot for the digitalization for events. For internal team, it's a big change. because we're getting so many business from different part of the world, like some places like I never even heard of. So the business jump in like just I mentioned last quarter, we did the whole year revenue in just one quarter. And so you can imagine if you just do the same thing, you cannot handle that that many requests, that many events. Like in the past, maybe 20 people run one event. Now in our team, 1 people run 20 events. What I did in my team is, one is I actually changed the structure of my team. So I changed the way that we run into a micro team. That means anything that because they are in the front line, if everything need to come back to me to make decision, that will be too slow. So I let them to make the decisions. That means whatever they want to build, the features, how they want to do it, they do it. So that's the first change I have for my team. Because now the new normal is like everyone is exploring, so they actually know the best. So actually that trigger a lot of new features in our product. So actually we have some interns. They just like, they're still student. Friday, they still go to school. But they build one of the feature actually generate over a few $1 million revenue.
So trying to break the young mind.
Yeah, yeah. If you ask me, I would never thought of that features because they keep doing it every single day. And that intern actually built a feature that like sold over millions.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, so I would say like definitely think about how do you leverage your team to build micro team so that you can leverage the wave of like the pandemic. Yeah.
So Christo, apart from building a logistic platform to match the needs and the supply, you are actually also in social innovations in the sense of making use of people on the road that could actually help you deliver goods and things like that, right? So has this COVID actually helped you change the way that of your original business model? Any digital transformations that you see within your platform is going on? Can you quickly give us a summary?
I think internally, we've always operate a pretty remote team. We have operations in 4 countries and engineers in 6 different cities. So it's really about investing into more tools, software tools, so that they can visualize and have a more collaborative environment. So even though people do not see each other, products can get pushed out much faster, much quicker, and more efficient. And in terms of our supply, I think there's definitely a larger audience right now. People who are interested in socially or being a slasher, right? They spend some time with the day job, but when they have downtime, they have other ways to make additional income. So I think the general public, or even like some older people, or even not just students, they are embracing this new way of making additional revenue as well.
Okay, thank you, Crystal. So we're almost time's up. We have just slightly like 3 minutes left. Could you all give us a quick comment on any future planning, for your business, just to share with us? Maybe we start with Simon.
Yeah, actually, we are waiting for the border to open again. And if the travel bubble to Singapore is happening, then we'll first go for Singapore for M&A expansion. And if we cannot go to other countries, and we'll expand internally. The online consumption market trend, we're going to speed it up. And then, and once the gate is open, then we'll expand to Southeast Asia.
Okay, and Sam?
For us, actually, definitely we will ride on the wave of the pandemic of digitalizations. So anyone now, basically all the organizers, corporate, they want to try virtual events. They want to try digitalize their events. So we actually going to really, really aggressively grow to like a lot of regions. And our plan is actually, right now we have a fun scheme. So anyone can become our teammate. So we allow anyone, you can be part-time, freelance, whatever, because we want to expand. So we launched a scheme that within 1 minute, you can become our partner. And so you can franchise our product and then sell it in your country, your place.
Bring a lot of small innovation.
Actually, we're recruiting like over 100 to 200 people actually joining our team like that. So we will grow very aggressively.
That's interesting.
And yeah, just to ride on the wave. And at the same time, of course, like we also consolidate our previous product, which is the offline events, and build a hybrid event experience. So that will be the future.
Okay. And Mark?
Yeah, so I'm trying to focus on the real new normal that we are focusing. We believe that it will long lasting, just something like the avoid human touch, because nobody would like to touch anything. For example, the lift panels, you want to touch it. Some smart kiosks, maybe you want to touch it. So I'm trying to make some devices and some smart kiosks that we don't need to touch anything, and so that you can live similarly and with your good living standards, something like that. So this is our future development plan.
Okay. So we have less than 1 minute. So Crystal, quickly, could you share, what is your future plan for Pickupp?
Yeah, we are expanding pretty aggressively to other Southeast Asian countries, and also trying to help a lot more micro sellers or mid-sized sellers to enable their cross-border e-commerce more seamlessly.
Thank you. So why don't we take a look at the polling results, shall we? Okay. So we have 94% of the respondents believing that this pandemic has actually speed up digital transformation for all industry, and hence we see business actually double, triple the original business volume. They finish a quarters and then they already finished the whole year's target. So it's good news, despite all these challenges that we're experiencing. And I would like to thank all panelists. Especially Crystal, who managed to join us even from outside, and our panelists here. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.